There's a certain kind of leader that doesn't just make your job harder, they make you question your value, your decisions, and sometimes even your identity at work. They don't scream or storm through hallways, they lead in ways that quietly damage trust, break down teams, and hold back careers. In this video, we'll explore 7 harmful leadership styles, how they show up, why they're so destructive, and what you can do to stay protected, confident, and calm. Let's begin. The Ghost Leader. The Ghost Leader is nowhere to be found when you need support, but always shows up when something goes wrong. They miss meetings, they don't give feedback, they avoid responsibility. But as soon as there's a mistake, they appear with critique and disappointment. You start to ask yourself, am I even doing this right? That's the trap. Ghost leaders create ambiguity, and ambiguity creates stress. How to protect yourself. Set expectations early. Ask direct questions. Confirm decisions in writing. Build a support system beyond them. Co-workers, mentors, anyone reliable. And always keep a record of what was said and when. You deserve leadership that shows up, not one that disappears when things get hard. The Emotional Manipulator. The emotional manipulator uses guilt, implication, and emotional pressure instead of guidance. You might hear, "Must be nice to leave on time," or "I thought you were more committed than this." Everything becomes a personal test. They want loyalty, not performance. How to protect yourself. Stick to facts. Explain decisions professionally, not emotionally. Hold your boundaries, kindly but clearly, and if needed, repeat those boundaries again. Work is not a soap opera. Don't let emotional games determine your worth. The Micromanager. The Micromanager doesn't delegate, they hover. They check in constantly, ask for updates before you've even started, and second-guess your smallest choices. While they think they're helping, they actually reduce efficiency and morale. How to protect yourself. Be proactive. Send regular updates before they ask. Create simple dashboards or tracking tools they can review, and suggest structured check-ins, for example, weekly instead of real-time. Good work needs trust to grow. Don't shrink yourself just to please control. Credit thief. The credit thief shows up at the finish line to take the trophy for your work. But when there's a problem, you're the face of failure. Over time, it creates resentment and invisibility. You begin to wonder if anyone sees what you're contributing. How to protect yourself. Document your work. Keep a win folder. Share progress with wider stakeholders when appropriate. Celebrate others. Shared credit builds a culture where thieves can't thrive. You don't need to brag, but you do need to be seen. Introducing the Burnout Creator. The Burnout Creator treats every task like a crisis. Late-night emails, constant ASAP requests, endless pressure. They confuse urgency with importance and ignore the need for recovery. Eventually, you're drained, distracted, and no longer effective. How to protect yourself. Ask for priorities. Say, which task matters most right now? Communicate working hours and limits. And don't apologize for taking breaks. Rest is productive. Leadership without empathy isn't leadership, it's dysfunction on a deadline. Promise breaker. The promise breaker is full of big words and future plans. You're up for a promotion. Let's talk leadership next quarter. Stick with me. We'll make it happen. but those promises don't materialize, and you're stuck waiting for change that never comes. How to protect yourself. Ask for specifics. What are the next steps? When? What needs to happen? Request clear timelines in writing, and build your own development path, one you control, not one based on vague words. Empty promises drain momentum. Don't build your goals on hopes, build them on action. Fear builder. The fear builder uses subtle threats to stay in control. They say things like, "We'll have to make cuts soon," or "Nothing's guaranteed right now." They create doubt, not to inform you but to keep you compliant. How to protect yourself. Know your worth. Track your wins. Keep your resume updated, as a strategy, not a threat. Stay connected to colleagues and professional communities. Fear loses its power when you have options. Fear might control performance short-term, but it destroys potential long-term. Protect your career. Set boundaries. Stay aware. Not every leader is harmful, but when they are, you need tools to protect your focus, your confidence, and your career. Here's a quick recap. Set expectations early. Keep clear records. Protect your energy. Own your progress. And don't confuse silence with acceptance. You don't need to fight every poor leader, but you do need to lead yourself, especially when they won't. Which leadership style have you faced? Ghost, micromanager, credit thief? Drop your experience in the comments. No names, just stories. If this helped you find clarity, give it a like, subscribe, and share it with someone quietly struggling at work. You deserve leadership that lifts, not leadership that limits.